listening to Sports Talk on the Friday night edition. Yes, we are excited to be live once again on the WJRG television network. I'm Dr. Jerry Green, along with my good friend, Big Don from Big Don Production, who's producing the show. What's up, Don?
Everything's good.
All right. All the way in Maryland. I started to say Baltimore. Frederick, Maryland. My brother-in-law, Larry Pearson, who's going with KC all the way. What's up, Larry?
Yeah, living the dream now. Living the dream. A dream coming real.
All right. Anthony McLean, what's up? One of our sports legends. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Every moment move with Kendall Tyson. What's up, my brother?
Looking forward to this evening. Well, when you said Baltimore, they went home, so no.
And all the way the legend himself, brother Bruce Austin. What's up, Bruce? God bless you, brother. How you doing?
Another beautiful day, brother.
You're right about that. So we're gonna get started tonight. I'm excited because I know you guys are ready to go at it. I wish the bishop was here and Pastor Walt and my brother Henry and Bob McCormick, but we're gonna have some fun. Let me start with you, Anthony. Buffalo at Kansas City Sunday. That's gonna be the late game. Larry told me at 6:30. What does Buffalo got to do, man, in order to pull the upset, Anthony, to win this game?
Rely on somebody else other than Josh Allen. I think they have to have a more balanced attack. They need the defense to get a couple of turnovers. I think Kansas City wins this. They're the champs till you beat them. Buffalo has proven that they can do it during the regular season, but you got to do it when the lights are bright and when the money's on the table. But as far as I'm concerned, I think KC is one step away from doing the first ever Super Bowl three-peat.
Wow! Go ahead, Don.
Well,
any chance of Buffalo at all, man?
Buffalo got to play sort of like they did when they beat the Ravens. Buffalo got to keep playing that good. They've been having a good season, and They got to keep playing like that because I actually thought that the Chiefs are the team to beat. But I actually thought the Ravens had the best team out there. For the best, I thought the Ravens had the better team, but yet Buffalo beat them boys. So, and you beat Kansas City once already. So, you should be able to convince yourself that we can beat them, And to me, Buffalo needs this a lot more than Kansas City do.
Oh, Kansas City going for three-peat, though.
Huh?
They're going for a three-peat now. That's important.
That's a three-peat, but they've been trying to build up Josh Allen for a long time to be a champ. They've been trying to give him all these stats and, he's the best quarterback out there. So in order to be the best, you got to beat the best, and he haven't done that yet.
Go ahead, Kendall. Then I go with Larry and Bruce. Go ahead, Kendall.
Yeah, same. I agree with both of them. I just think it's Kansas City's time. I just can't see myself betting against Pat Mahomes based on his track record. Josh Allen is an amazing talent. He has what it takes to win, just not in the playoffs against Kansas City.
All right, Larry, I know you can't KC all the way. Buffalo don't have no chance at all, Larry.
They don't have a chance at all because this is one thing. Certain people are born to be killers, like Joe Montana. Joe Montana was a born killer. He wasted no time, Mahomes is on a big stage. That's when he performs his best, And I think he's just, when it comes to the playoffs, he will do everything it takes to win, and he knows how to do it. So it's going to be very, extremely hard to beat him at his own game.
Go ahead, Bruce. I mean, they're not giving Buffalo any chance, but you're not giving no chance either, right?
I mean, they got a chance. They definitely got a chance. Only people that don't have a chance, the ones ain't there.
Okay.
you know what I mean? They there, they got a chance. But with everybody helping, they got all their receivers back. Nobody talk about that ankle no more.
The defensive back is
that
out.
woke up.
The linebacker's got a gimpy ankle.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They could win it, but it's gonna be tough.
Okay, but let's just say, for example, Larry, if the game boils down to, let's say we go into overtime, okay, and let's say Buffalo get the ball first, and their plan is make sure Pat Mahomes don't get that ball because if they score a touchdown, the game is over, right?
No, it's not. No more.
No, they changed that. They changed. No, but
Change that.
yeah, because of what happened to Buffalo and Kansas City before, they changed it. So now, if a team scores a touchdown on the first go, the other team gets another shot. Now, if it's a field goal, the other team scores a touchdown, then the game's over. So yeah, they've modified it now so that it's not sudden death. I had me personally, I don't know how everybody else feels. I had no problem with sudden death because that's what it's all, that's what the playoffs are all about, sudden death.
I did because each team should have a chance. Because if you get the ball first and you come down to score and the other quarterback don't even get a chance, that happened. I don't know if that happened to Pat Mahomes when Tom Brady had the ball or something.
It's happened. It's happened a bunch of times.
I don't like that.
Hey, even Tim Tebow won a game on the first go in the postseason. So yeah, it's happened a bunch of times.
But what do you think, Bruce? I got you ready. Huh?
Got to get the defense ready. That's all.
Okay.
I don't mind either way though. Either way for me, I don't mind. You know what I mean?
My backdrop.
I know.
We got a house.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, my
I see why you left. I see why you left. He came over.
Yeah.
He can't get a team, so he got to get a house.
Oh my God.
He got to get a house.
Oh my God. Okay, look, I changed that backdrop. We both had the same house then. Okay.
He ain't got no sound on yet.
Bruce, the Washington Commanders, man. Larry told me that he's afraid because that quarterback is that good. What's his name again? What's his name, Larry?
Jaden Daniels.
Bruce, what you think about the Commanders and Philly, man? In your heart, who do you think will win this game? In your heart.
Hey, either one of them can win it. See, but Washington is playing with house money. They ain't got nothing to lose. They playing free spirit.
Okay.
And that's a dangerous team, especially as confident as this young rookie is. They can go, if Philly not on top of their game, they can go in there and do some damage.
But they beat him. Okay, I know Don don't like to bring up when I bring up they beat him before. Did they beat him in the regular season? They 1-1, right?
Yeah. Both teams won at home.
Yeah, but wouldn't that give you confidence if I beat you before, that I can still beat you?
Oh, they got confidence from the Detroit game. They didn't need Philly for that.
Nah, they don't need Philly for that. They excited.
They playing with house money, man. They only see winning now.
Go ahead, Larry. Talk about Washington, man. Cause before them guys got on, man, you was talking about.
Jay Daniels is one special quarterback. You know, they don't make him like this. He's just not an athlete. He's a stone cold killer. I mean, he's a smart player. He reminds me a lot of Mahomes because he does things on precision. You know, when he tries to run, he knows exactly when to run, exactly when to take off. And he got the speed to get away, and he got a gun for an arm. That's dangerous, especially when you're that cool and calm under pressure. That is dangerous.
And he's a rookie too.
That's right. See,
go ahead.
What's them don't have that? What's them? No other court. Hurst don't got nothing like that. He don't got that mindset.
Right.
He got the ability, but he ain't got that mindset this young guy got.
So Larry, who you got? Washington?
I want to go with Washington. That rookie gonna make a statement. I guarantee it. He's gonna make a statement.
So you're going to Washington then? All right, ain't nothing wrong with that.
If they beat Philly, they're gonna knock off Mahomes too.
Oh.
I want him to keep. Hey Jerry, I want him to see if he gonna keep that same energy.
Let me let Bishop say something. Bishop, we're talking about you wasn't on for the Buffalo and Kansas City, but Washington Commanders. Are you picking them for over Philly or what?
Well, we picked Tuesday. You remember I said Washington and the Bills. If you remember.
The Bills? How the Bills
I said Washington and the Bills. That's exactly what I said. I have not.
You said the Vikings. You said
there's no more bandwagon jumping because now we're down to 2. Okay.
You house jumping now.
No, hey, listen, there's so many. I could put so many up here. I just throw one up because the brick wall, I'm off the brick wall. Next week, I throw up. But the truth of the matter, you see that piano back there? Philly's going to be playing that piano.
Jerry said you evicted him.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Jerry's got the same backdrops I got. We go to the same spot to get backdrops, okay?
But you ain't got to take it.
All right. Okay. Kendall, go ahead, bro. Don't go Anthony.
You got to be his.
Right. Kendall, go ahead, bro.
He designed it.
Open.
But anyway, to finish what I'm saying, I got to agree with Larry. Jaden Daniels is a special kind of player. And he said that he's Patrick Mahomes. Daniels, to me, reminds me of when he first came into the league, Michael Vick. He had everything he needed to get the job done. You didn't know what he was going to do. One thing was for sure. He caught you by surprise almost every time until they figured him out. Nobody's figured Daniels out yet.
Wow. Okay, so you got the Commanders. Go ahead, Kendall.
Okay. I think we're hoping, I'm hoping the Washington Commanders show up against Pat Mahomes. I think that Pat Mahomes and the three-peat, I mean, they'll hold up their bargain, and hopefully UConn men will hold up theirs, because remember, they're the only two teams that go back-to-back so far. So I'm looking for the three-peat with Kansas City, and I would love to see the first ever rookie starting in a Super Bowl after having 5 straight fourth-quarter comebacks. This would be just an amazing story. And climate of the, political weather now, we'll have, Chiefs versus Commanders, and we'll have this indigenous population thing going on. I think that the sage is step for this young man to come up out of Philadelphia. Now, Philly has the tighter team, obviously, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. But I think Kansas City versus Philadelphia would be a little boring. I think we would love to see that kid in there because he just brings an excitement, like the Bishop said, like a Michael Vick or even like a Patrick Mahomes. Really,
Barkley, it'd be boring with Barkley in the Super Bowl, man. If Barkley get a chance to be Emmitt Smith and get a chance to be Walter Payton, get a chance to make some noise.
The Raiders wouldn't even be close with that rookie in there.
That's right. It's going through the roof.
They blow the roof right off.
You got it.
With the rookie?
Yeah.
With the rookie.
He makes the Super Bowl. The ratings you might as well say the ratings are gonna go 2/3 higher than their normality.
Oh, I looked at Barkley and Jalen Hurts. Let me Anthony go, Anthony. Was you finished, Kendall?
Yeah.
Great. Anthony, what you think about the Commanders? So Kendall, who you got? I know you're a Philly man. You got Philly or Washington? Come on, man. You got give me a pick, bro.
All right.
Jump on the bandwagon. Go ahead.
Now you
Philadelphia bandwagon. Now I'm going. I think Philadelphia will win. I think they're going to win, but I want Washington to win. So
I just Philly your team though.
Then say Washington. Go ahead.
Philly was your team, man, for the last 3 years, Kendall.
Sure has it.
You were watching the win. Come on.
Listen, I didn't see this Jaden come along. I fell in love with this quarterback. I like him like Pat Mahomes. This kid is special, man.
Hey, Anthony, go ahead and say something, man. I know these guys are ready to.
The thing you got to understand with what Jaden Daniels is doing, no rookie quarterback has ever played in the Super Bowl. Now, we've seen rookie quarterbacks play for the championship. You got to go back. You got to go back to Otto Graham, who had already played a few years in the old American Football Conference when they beat the Eagles in the championship game. Otto Graham's the only quarterback that played for a championship in all 10 years that he played in. He played in the championship game all 10 years that he started. So Jaden Daniels has a chance to literally and figuratively blow up the history of professional football by even just getting to the championship game, let alone win it. I'm not gonna lie. I had Kansas City and Green Bay in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go with I want to go with Washington. I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out game. I think Washington can pull this off because, again, the most dangerous team that you can play right now is a team that literally and figuratively has nothing to lose. And the scary thing is we haven't even seen I don't even think we've seen the best of Daniels yet. That's the real scary part here.
But okay, I'll let Donald say something. I'm going to comment. Go ahead, Don.
Well, I've been rethinking this thing ever since Tuesday. For the simple fact, I've been trying to read and find out what's going on with Hurts. I think Hurts is hurt. I don't think he's playing up to full potential. And if Hurts can't play full potential, the Commanders definitely will beat them. So if Hurts can't move, if he can't do that push tush, if he can't make those little running plays, because he ain't throwing that well. He hasn't been throwing that well to his ends. To me, pretty much half the season, he ain't been throwing that well. So I've been really rethinking that thing, and I tried to look at it when he was limping last week, and I'm gonna say that I think the Commanders gonna take them boys. I think Hurts is not 100%.
Ooh.
I really was going with the Eagles all the way to now. But,
let me add
Well, I'll go with the Commanders. Go ahead, Bishop.
Let me just add to what the report on Daniels right now is he's not 100%.
Come on, Hurts.
Hurts. I'm sorry.
Hurts,
Knee
yeah.
problems and ankle problems.
Right.
And he can't maneuver that quickly. And I can't think of the backup quarterback. If you ever saw now the offensive coordinator.
Boy, they come from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. Peoples, Kenny, whatever his name is.
Kenny Pickens.
Pickens. Yes,
Mhm.
if you had seen some of the reports, Pickens is taking maybe more than a third of the snaps. And Hurts didn't have his first full practice until I think yesterday. The other thing you got to pay attention to is the bottom line is at the end of the day, the offensive coordinator for Washington turned around and says if they allow Daniels to run, we're gonna treat him like a running back. And I already know what that means. They're gonna pop him and make him not want to leave the pocket. That's what they're going to try to do.
Else, Ernie? I'm more worried for Washington about Philly's defense than Philly's offense because that big boy Carter, he's playing some ball, man. And if he can disrupt that Washington offense like he's been doing the last couple of games, that's the only thing I'm worried about with Washington.
And I can't disagree with you, but the last time the two teams played, they kind of held Carter at bay. He had about 3 or 4, 5 hurries, no sacks, just a lot of hurries. So if they keep him at bay, and who's the other guy on the other side of the ball, on the left side, the defensive end? I can't think of his name. A good penetrator. I don't know his name, but he's a great penetrator. They hold them guys down, and keep in mind, I think Daniels has that screen pass packed down. So, and just like Detroit, Philly will outplay themselves in the secondary. So, them screen passes are going to be key, especially in the earlier going first and second quarter. Give Daniels a chance to get downfield, and Scary Terry's going to burn him for sure.
Yeah.
They've already said now that Jalen Hurts is going to be wearing a brace for the game. A knee brace, so that takes away, that takes away a lot of his mobility. So
that's a deep.
Well, what about Barkley though? About a month ago, y'all bragging on Barkley, man. He was supposed to be the man. He was.
He gonna be there.
If Hurts is not 100%, you can concentrate on Barkley.
You can shut down the run.
That's exactly right. Don got the right idea. If Hurts can't move, you rely on Barkley. You could stack the box against Barkley.
Didn't Hurts run one for about 70 yards last week?
Yeah,
44.
That's before he got hurt.
He actually had 71 yards rushing last week, and when he wound up getting hurt. So yeah, that's the thing. The thing with Hurts is, in many ways, he probably is one of the more mobile quarterbacks. He probably doesn't get enough credit for being one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league. But when you take that away, when you take that element away from him, can he still beat you?
Yeah.
And that's going to be the key. And also, look, Washington's defense, let's face it, from midseason on, they have just taken it to another level each week. And remember, Detroit had their full complement of running backs back last week, and they made them a non-factor. So we'll see how this plays out.
And keep in mind too, they had their full complement of receivers, and plus their the two extras they had.
Yeah,
I think one of the extras was the one that had to make some clutch passes to keep them in the game. Look at it this way: at the end of the day, unless they get to Daniels, shut him down, Philly's in trouble because their secondary is kind of weak. Their secondary can't stay with nobody. Scary Terry will run past them, and now what's the other their tight end's name? I can't think of the tight end.
The former Eagle, Zach Ertz.
Yeah, there you go. That's another one you got to watch out for. He already knows what to do because he has an idea of what that offensive coordinator might want to do. He might, hey, who knows? Let's just wait and see.
Like Larry was saying earlier, the guy is smart.
Yes.
That's why Philly got to watch how they blitz because
That's
he
right.
watch them blitzes and he know when to run. You know what I mean? That's when he
guy.
get most of his yards. If you watch when them guys be blitzing, you see that hole and he gone, man.
He's only a rookie too. Only a rookie.
He's smart. He's very smart player.
Playing smart. Okay, listen, Larry, you got something you want to say something, Larry?
No, I'm just trying to let everybody know, you know, Hurts can run straight ahead, but he just can't move side to side. But if they try to blitz that quarterback, he's gonna eat him alive. If they try to blitz him, he's gonna eat him for lunch. Okay,
let me move on, man, because I got a lot of topics I want to try to get to. This is Sports Talk on the WJRG television network, produced by Big Don from Big Don Production on the Friday edition. I got a question for all you guys. Now, would you say that the Baltimore Ravens, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Detroit Lions season was a failure or what? Kendall, what do you think? Were there failures?
Well, people are going to say that, and they're right. Detroit had an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl for the first time in their history, and they ran up against a hot rookie. And having the best record in the league after going for it on fourth down last year. Now, Minnesota, they look pretty good. And up until the last two games, their quarterback, he probably lost himself a lot of money. The Baltimore Ravens, I mean, literally had, you know, what Lamar Jackson needed in order to get to the Super Bowl. In the championship game, you didn't run Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson, first player in NFL history, 4,000 yards, 4,000 yards passing, 900 yards on the ground, almost had 1,000. So we, you know, sports reporters will say, well, you know, the best they could. They ran to a hot quarterback. But more than likely, you're going to look at this season and say, you know, it was a failure.
Okay. What about you, Larry? Minnesota, Detroit, and Baltimore. Are there failures that's this season for them?
I think Minnesota, they had a great season. They depended on a quarterback who couldn't take pressure. And for Detroit had 15 players injured. So I think they had a great season. And Detroit took a lot of chances early in the season to win them games, going on fourth down and stuff like that. But overall, the biggest thing is going to come down to is the Ravens. The Ravens need to fire their offensive coordinator at least. There's been too many years they get in the playoffs and the same thing happens. You know, they lose it. You know, either you fire the offensive coordinator or you need to find another way to play in the playoffs.
Okay. What about you, Legend? Detroit, Vikings, and what's the other one I said? Baltimore. Failure.
I agree with what Larry said. You know, Detroit to get a break because they had so many injuries. I mean, top guys on the defense too, like Hutchinson and them boys. You know what I mean? So they'll get a break, but there's no excuse whatsoever for Baltimore. I think they're the biggest.
Talk about Buffalo, Bruce. Come on, Josh Allen.
Buffalo's still in it.
Right. Let's say that's what they lost to, though. I mean,
I'm saying they wasn't expecting to lose, and because of the way they lost, if they played the way they played all year long and lost, that's one thing. But you don't go away from your top recruit from the offseason, Henry.
Oh my God!
And plus, you lost that way last year. You gonna come back and do it the same way?
So you can fire the coach, like Larry said, the offensive coach.
One of them.
Offensive coordinator got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, get rid of Lamar Jackson.
Get both of them out of there. The head coach let it happen.
All right, go ahead, Bishop. What do you think, man? Your team is Minnesota.
I know. For Detroit, no, it's not a failure because of both Legend and Larry said, the excessive injuries. Actually, it's an accomplishment. I would say that was a great season, despite the fact that you were not 100% almost the entire season. One thing, just an FYI, their defensive coordinator, Glenn, is now the head coach for the Jets, I'm understanding. So we're going to see something different for their defense next year. It may not be the same Detroit team. So this was their one shot in the dark. Next year is going to show us something totally different. Minnesota, I was skeptical with Darnold all year long. And then when I tried to bite the sandwich, I found out it had paste in it. So it left a bad taste in my mouth. So what am I going to say? And you guys were giving me the Cinderella story the whole time. The glass slipped and about to turn into a pumpkin. And quite naturally, it turned into pumpkin soup. Not just a pumpkin soup. So, I had to put all my Vikings gear away and just watch football. The Ravens, no, it wasn't a bust. You're not playing some Johnny-come-lately team. You played the Buffalo Bills, okay? And I can't say the better team won, but what I can say, the smarter team won because they did what they needed to do to win. And like you said, Henry did not get what he should have gotten. What do you have? 15 carries, 17 carries, something like
16,
that?
16
carries. That is not going to win that game for you. And on both those 2-point conversions, where was Henry in both those 2-point conversions? Henry wasn't even in the play.
We dropped the ball one time too. Now
I'm talking about Baltimore. Yeah. Now, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. They convert both those 2-point conversions. Baltimore wins by 2.
Okay. Hey, Anthony, what do you think, man? Failure for them 3 teams?
Well, actually, the Vikings, remember, there was McCarthy was supposed to be their starting quarterback. They were supposed to be the one with the rookie quarterback this year. So even though, you knew that the stuff with Darnold was going to come back to haunt them at some point, they probably went a lot farther than a lot of people thought. The Ravens are a disappointment because they got to the AFC title game last year, and this was basically like a rerun the way that they lost. And Detroit, unfortunately, just got beat up. And so, and also to piggyback on what you were saying before, they also lost their offensive coordinator. And the thing about it is he's going into their division. He's going to use the new head coach for the Bears. So
that is right.
This is so Detroit. You hope for Detroit's chances that their window hasn't closed, because now you're going to have to bring a different philosophy on both sides of the line, and we'll have to see who they're gonna replace those 2 losses with. But yeah, it's more of a disappointment than a what's the word, than a bust more than anything else.
Go ahead, Don. What you think, man? Give me, because I know Don is rough. So go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
Well, everybody pretty much put the nail on the head. Like Detroit, I definitely don't see that as a bust, considering all the guys they had out. Had they been a healthy team and lost like that, then you could consider that a bust. But they put together a good team. They just couldn't keep everybody healthy. As far as Bishop team goes, I think Bishop ought to be proud and hold his head up, because nobody expected Donald to carry them boys this far. Nobody. Everybody thought they was going to be a bust. And I think Donald did an excellent job of getting them to where he got them to.
I just got my popcorn license to sell popcorn at the Super Bowl.
But the Ravens, 100% bust. I don't want to hear nothing about they were playing the Bills. They should have been the hottest team out there, first of all.
I agree.
They had everything they needed to win, except for a good offensive coordinator. They had everything they needed to win. I think somebody on this panel could have coached that team and they still would have won. The Ravens,
but you guys disrespecting Buffalo a little bit too now.
Buffalo, like I said, Buffalo is overbuilt up because everybody want to see Josh Allen be the great wide receiver.
Buffalo, who I thought they were.
Like it is. All these black quarterbacks are always getting in there. All these black quarterbacks are always the big guy. They want to see golf or somebody like Josh Allen make it in, and those guys are not. No, they're not. You can't. Okay. I'm not gonna put Josh Allen up there with Jackson. I'm not gonna put him up there.
But now, let me ask you a question. Maybe somebody can answer this. What was Flowers? Was he 100%? I know he played, but he was very he was irrelevant in that game.
Well, he just got back.
Yeah. He just got back. And he just wasn't a factor. Now I don't know if you can. I don't know if it's something where where it was Buffalo that just made him a non-factor. I think it might have been just more of the injury than anything else.
I think it was. I think it was more of the injury, but we're not going to feast on injuries because, on this panel, man, they will eat you alive if you holler about an injury. So.
All right, listen. All right, I'm going to go around one more time. I know we talked about this before. If the Chiefs go three-peat, Donald, I forgot what you said. Should Kelsey retire after the three-peat or what? Or play?
Well, he can go out on top. I mean, it'd be nice. It's very seldom you see anybody go out on top. You know what I mean? He got everything going for him, the football story. He got the podcast and the #1 girlfriend in the country.
There you go.
So he should go out and retire. But can he? To me, football be in them guys' blood, man. They just can't do it, And
they want the limelight. They want the limelight.
Huh?
They want the limelight.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
you're hearing their name.
Yeah, he got it all right now. And then if they do win it, I mean, that's a good shot for a 4-peat. So do you turn that down? Even if you don't get it, do you turn it down?
All right, go ahead, Bruce. What you think? Should he retire or what?
Listen, like I said before, I think either way, whether he win it or lose it, he gone. You run around with Taylor Swift, how big of the light gonna get?
Taylor Swift, like
he up there in the stars, man. With her, man, he ain't never been this popular.
Nope.
As good as he is on that football field, he never been this popular.
And never danced in the end zone. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, he played this last game. He played better than he played all year. And
but I think either way,
she might want to keep this thing going. She likes the fact that she's a football fan and she up there in that booth and yelling for Kelly. She likes all that attention too now.
Yeah, but the only reason I said that because he was considering it last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I said this year, whether he win it or lose it, he's still gone.
We're gonna see. Go ahead, Larry.
I mean,
everybody doubted Kelsey from day one. They said he's old. They said he's washed up. They said he couldn't get it done. Everybody in this panel told me that. But the simple fact is, with Kansas City, they practice during the season. They practice. They're getting everybody in line. And what he's going to do in the playoffs, he's going to retire after the season. There's no doubt about that.
Okay,
They're going to win a three-peat. He's going to go out on top. And it's going to be a great Super Bowl. And she's going to show everybody just how good he is for the last time.
Kendall, go ahead, bro.
I think he's an all-time great. I think he probably retire if they win. I think that if they lose, they'll probably try to come back, knowing Pat Mahomes. You know Pat Mahomes is out there. I think he goes out on top on a three-peat and pursues his acting career and hangs out with his billionaire girlfriend.
Bishop, now go to Anthony.
Well, I'm going to simply say this. This game coming Sunday at 6:30. The last one with the ball is your winner. And if it is Buffalo by any chance, this is it. Now he's going to either take off with Taylor Swift or he's going to try to come back and make up for what's going to happen. If he does do a three-peat, which, I'm not against, I keep saying this, I'm not against Kansas City because of the truth of the matter is, it'd be nice to see something of that magnitude because it's never been done before. But at the same time, my heart tells me that the Commanders are going to knock them off, and that's going to be it. Kendall said something about 7 to 10 minutes ago. I would love to see the three-peat with Kansas City, but I also want to see the three-peat with UConn and the way they're playing right now. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Yeah, Anthony, what you think, bro? What you think? Would he retire Kelsey if they win three-peat?
I think he will, and I don't think he's. And to be honest with you, I don't think that's going to be the only major retirement. I think Andy Reid goes out in the. I think Andy Reid leaves as well, and I think Eric Bieniemy takes over as the head coach.
Wow.
No, that's not going to happen.
I didn't see that coming. Too many commercials for Andy Reid now. He got to go too.
Yeah, I don't think
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm just saying. He just got his 300th win. He's about to win his third Super. I mean, he's gonna probably go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's basically in the same situation as Kelsey in the sense of he's got nothing else to prove anymore. He's already got his ticket stamped for Canton, and like I said, I just I remember there were rumors last year that he was thinking about retiring. So I think if they go do the three-peat, I truly think he'll retire, and I think Eric Bieniemy takes over as the head coach.
Yeah, and plus he don't want to be another Bill Belichick either now.
No, stay too long.
But you got Mahomes in the prime of his career.
Here's the question: how many has he? Go ahead, Larry.
Go ahead, Larry.
Mahomes in the prime of his career. Bieniemy has never called plays. Bieniemy never been a head coach before. The takeover was star-studded team like Kansas City. He's not the man for the job.
Oh, okay.
He got a lot of respect and stuff like that. Maybe he can come back as offensive coordinator, but not as the head coach.
Now, just for the record, doesn't Andy Reid have 4 Super Bowls?
Yeah,
I thought he had one with the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
No, he lost. He lost. No, Doug Peterson won that one.
Okay,
Doug Peterson won that one.
This would be his 4th. Okay.
This will be his 3rd win, but this will be his 4th Super Bowl. The one the Eagles won, they won with Doug Peterson.
Yeah. Okay.
He got
I had it back. All right, I had it backwards.
All right. Okay. Wow, man, a great show so far. I love it. Don, did I get you already?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Anthony, I'm gonna start with this one, man. I'm gonna switch gears on this one. Scottie Pippen, he got a new book that's out, which you guys probably heard about. He's going around again. He had a lot of controversy on a statement he made. Stephen A. Smith got on him. The Draymond Green podcast. Scottie said that Michael or LeBron is not the GOAT. He named Magic Johnson. And he said as well, he could have won 6 championships without Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan could not have won his 6 without him. Does Scottie need a little help, Anthony, or what? What's going on with Scottie?
Apparently he's been on that sour grapes diet for the last couple years since the Last Dance came out. I can this way. I understand his argument for Magic Johnson being the greatest, but it's kind of blasphemous since he played with Jordan all those years. Again, to me, it's one of those things where they needed each. It's sort of like Kobe and Shaq. They needed each other. Michael, we all know Michael pre-Scottie was, they couldn't get out of the first round. But once Pippen and Horace Grant and all the other, that's when they won. But this is unfortunately, Scottie is sounding more like these jealous housewives of Beverly Hills in regards to this now. Unfortunately, it's too bad. It's too bad too because he's a great player on his own. But this is, he puts the P in petty. I'll just leave it at that.
Let me go. Kendall, because Scottie said that Michael Jordan never had dinner together 1-on-1. Why Scottie so bitter, man? What's going on with Scottie, man?
Well, I don't think he felt like he got the recognition he deserved during the Last Dance. Figured that, although believe it or not, I watched it again after that, and he gave Scottie a lot of credit. He did. It really shed some good light on Scottie Pippen. I think that Scottie Pippen probably felt that he was equal to Jordan in some way. The way he talks, it's like, well, I play both sides of the ball. So did I think it's a shot at Jordan not saying anything about, Scottie's son dealing with his wife. I think that had a little personal issue with him because he does talk about Jordan not being a good person because of that. I think I sent you guys a link on that. So there's a backstory behind that because, Scottie was the one that was on TV with the bottom of the sneakers telling Jordan to come back. Remember that?
Yeah.
Jordan championship. So.
What do you think, Bishop? Scottie, man. And Scottie said now that he could have won his 6 without Michael, but Michael couldn't have won his 6 without him. I mean,
if it was the G League, he'd be exactly right. But in this particular league, I do not think so. Scottie Pippen showed us, and let's just take the one before Michael came back and started the second 3, when Tony Kukoc got the call on the final shot in a divisional game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, against the Knicks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, against the Knicks. Crybaby Scottie didn't even come back out on the court. Y'all remember that, right?
Remember it well.
My whole point is, Scotty, and if you're watching or if you happen to come across this podcast, we'd love to have you on here to give you a chance to defend yourself. But do me a favor, please lay off the cognac, bro. It's messing with your brain.
Go ahead, Bruce. I go with Larry, man. Scotty, man, what you think?
Now, Mike set out 2 years, right?
Yep.
Year and a half, yes. Okay.
I
Just
put it
about
with
2 years.
2 years. He came out what, late in the second one? Or
Yeah. 95 with 17 games left.
See, the bad thing about Scotty saying that is he had a chance to prove that he could win one without Mike.
Yep.
And he didn't do it.
Right.
But Mike never got that chance to win one without him once they got it going.
Yep.
So when Mike went and played baseball, Scotty had a chance to prove what he said in his book, but he didn't do it because they lost.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? If he could have won 6 without Mike, why he didn't win the one when Mike wasn't there?
Thank you. My point exactly. Lay off the cognac.
All right.
Yeah, team factor.
And then when Mike came back, I could see Mike being a little rusty, getting there half a year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty still couldn't bring him through.
Right. Yeah, the Mike.
He had to wait till Mike got back full strength before they won that 3 again.
Exactly.
Well, Larry, what you think, man? Scotty need a little help or what, man?
Scotty was made by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan pushed Scotty to be the player he was, you know. And everybody needs a Robin. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that Jordan couldn't win it without him. They played together, but I just think he's spiteful for everybody putting Jordan up on a pedestal, and he think he deserves something to claim too. But he got to understand, Mike made the whole team. He made everybody better. He made everybody do things they wasn't used to doing, and go to levels they didn't think about going to, because Mike had that drive. So if it wasn't for Mike pushing him, he would have never got there anyway. You know?
Right. Go ahead. I'm gonna come on that too.
Let's take into consideration also, Jerry. Mike had 2 different teams when he did these 3 Ps.
Right.
Okay. And I remember Paxson. I think it was Paxson and BJ was his first set of guards.
Yeah.
And then
Cliff Levinson and Bill Cartwright.
Yeah.
None of that matters because he had Scotty.
Well, I know he had Scotty, but you needed those role players to fill in. It does, because you got to have them role players.
2 different teams in one, just like you said. So Scotty had 2 different teams.
My point exactly. Scotty had a different team too, and they didn't look at him as the go-to. You know, he just pulled out his crying towel. I'm sitting down. I ain't playing anymore.
Well, that was Phil Jackson's fault. When he put that boy in instead of Scotty, that was Phil's fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what made Phil look good? Kukoc made the shot.
There you go.
Yeah, but it still shouldn't have happened. It should have never came to that. He should have gave Scotty more respect than that. Come on.
The bad part is, what really hurt Scottie Pippen. What really hurt him was
his own mouth.
He always felt that he was just as good as Mike.
And
when Mike wasn't there and he picked Kukoc over him to take that shot, that really pissed him off, you know.
That hurt Scotty.
He said, look, Mike ain't here no more. I'm supposed to be the one to take that shot.
That's
he
right.
had the right to say it too, because he been cheering him all year.
And we all forget that he was on that Portland team that pushed the Lakers to Game 7 when they were in the middle of doing their 3-peat as well. And who knows if maybe if the Trailblazers knock off the Lakers, maybe he gets that other title. But put it this way, Scotty, there's no shame in being, either being Jordan's caddy, so to speak, or to being his equal. But it's just when you make it personal like that, it gets lost in translation, unfortunately.
Yeah, what hurt Scotty to me in his chances? They won 6 championships, and Michael was the MVP in every one of them. Now I can see if Scotty was maybe MVP maybe once or twice, the way the Lakers, because one time James Worthy was one, Kareem was one, Magic was one. They kind of split it. Now if Scotty would at least won 1 out of those 6, I'm talking about the most valuable player in the championship, then you have an argument. But he didn't get 1.
You can't say Scotty didn't deserve one. It's just that Mike was the man, and they kept giving it to him. You know what Scotty should have did? He should have spoke up back then. He should have made it known that the kind of player he is. You know, he waited till they retire and everything is over. Now he want to be, like he said, a housewife of Beverly Hills, a housewife of Chicago. You know, he want to act like that now. It was time to speak up then. Now he just looking like a little girl, going around writing all these books.
His beef should have been with management, who never really who always tried to lowball him. His argument should have been with management and Jerry Krause, not with Mike.
Right.
I don't think it should have been with Krause. It should have been with Jackson. Because
it should have been with Krause because Krause wasn't paying him no money. That's why he broke today.
All right. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't want to beat up on Scotty too much, but that was a good one. Go ahead. Someone say something?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't going to read the book. I'll tell you that.
Go ahead, Kendall.
I'm not going to read the book. I don't plan to anyway.
The play was drawn up against the Phoenix Suns, and the play was drawn for Michael Jordan. Steve Kerr says, if you don't have it, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So you think about the situation like that. Okay, if you watch that game with the Knicks, they knew that, Scotty would have been the guy. Look at that defensive setup. I remember
it was set up for Scotty.
They're ready for Scotty. Okay, so why not give him the X factor? Give Kukoc a shot. And I think it put Kukoc on the map. It gains his confidence. He went on to be a better player from that point on.
I got a better play than that. I remember Game 6 against Phoenix when John Paxson hit the shot. The whole plan was to get the ball out of Michael's hand. Michael got the ball. He made the pass. He hit, I think, Scotty first. The ball was a hot potato. Scotty didn't want it. Scotty threw the ball to Horace Grant. He was way down under the basket. He didn't want it. He threw the ball out to John Paxson, and he took the shot. All of them had a chance to score. The ball was a hot potato. They didn't want it. All right? And
they were looking for the best possible shot, which any team that's worth its salt is going to do that anyway. And I like Kendall said, that play was drawn up. It would have been drawn up for Scotty. See, Scotty, instead of crying and running off in a corner somewhere, should have been out there. The Paxson there, he should have opened his mouth and said, look, if you ain't got it, I'm here. I'm available. And it may have bounced in his hands anyway. Fortunately, not unfortunately, Kukoc hit the shot. But everybody was keyed in because I kind of remember the setup, the defensive stance when they were inbounding the ball. And they actually had one-on-one with Pippen, but I can't remember who was Bruce. Who was our two guard at the time?
They had Ron Harper there.
It was Harper, wasn't it?
But they had Harper at the top where he would drop down if Scotty got the ball, in the chamber there, and it never came. It went right to Kukoc on the outside.
Okay, I saw that differently because I thought what actually happened was Scotty was having a bad game, and Phil Jackson decided Kukoc should take that shot.
Okay.
Because Scotty wasn't having a great game that day, and Scotty got mad.
Yeah, Scotty got mad.
I remember it.
Scotty got mad. But
Phil made that decision.
Don, I want to move on because it's getting late. 6:49. Jimmy Butler got suspended again for the second time. And I understand that the Memphis Grizzlies they made a phone call trying to get Jimmy Butler or at least acquire about him. Would that be a good fit for Jimmy Butler in Miami if they had to give up a few players and could keep what's the star name again?
John Morant.
John Morant.
What do you think, guys? What do you think?
Go ahead.
Memphis get Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, because Jimmy Butler don't want to be here.
I mean, it'll be a good deal if he go there and play with John Morant. If he don't go there trying to take over the team, it'll be a good deal. I'm not a lot of confidence in Butler. I'm not a big Jimmy Butler fan myself, so I don't think they should make the trade. But it could be good for him as long as he play with them and not against them. I mean, he don't want to outdo John Morant. That could be a problem.
What do you think, Larry? What do you think, Jimmy Butler?
I don't think it'd be a good fit.
Okay. Why?
I don't think it'd be a good fit because them to play together, there's got to be chemistry. And what's his name is he's thinking better than what he actually is.
Come on, Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
Okay.
I would agree.
You've been to 2 finals, Larry.
He still think he's better than he actually is.
But it's John Morant's team.
You coming on a new team, you got to sit back. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to check some things. You know what I'm saying?
All right, okay. Go ahead, Bruce.
I don't think the problem would be on the court. I think the problem would be off the court. See, Jimmy got a lot of baggage with him, man. And there's a lot of stuff. He done been to Minnesota, Chicago, everywhere he been. He done got accused of sleeping with guys' wives, all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? So I think it's more of the baggage that he bring with him off the court. Because nobody got no problem with him playing. I mean, he's a heck of a player. He done took Miami. He showed what he can do. He can lead a team. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think his baggage is more problems in the locker room and off the court than on the court with Jimmy Butler.
What do you think, Anthony? Jimmy Butler, Memphis, or any other team?
I think he'd be better with a more veteran team. This is a young, relatively young team with Memphis, and also Morant is clearly, the star in that team. I don't think he would go there being a mentor because, like Bishop said, all of his stories, whether it's Philly, whether it's Minnesota, whether it's Miami, it always ends ugly. So.
All right. Who did I miss? Don. Kendall. Did I get you already? Oh, Bishop, go ahead.
Good fit for Memphis. Like you said, I think he's more of a veteran team, the way they play. Jimmy is a very good player. He made it to the final. But a lot of his moves are, Jimmy going to the basket. You got John Morant out there. It's not like he's a spot-up shooter. So I think he's a great player, just not for Memphis.
Okay. What you think, Bishop?
Not a good fit. I mean, ego is the biggest issue here. And let's just be real. John Morant has something of an ego. Although, he's had his little issues both on and off the court. So they'll be bumping heads for sure. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes to Memphis and these two end up in a fist fight about mid-court.
Yeah, it could happen.
But I'm just saying, it actually you got Butler's ego and you got Morant's ego, okay? And when it comes down to that last shot, you're down 2, and you need that last shot. Everybody's clamoring and wanting the ball. And I mean, come on, let's just think about it.
You're getting more to Jimmy Butler. That's like going Jimmy Bucket. That's
no. See, now you just took the ball out of Morant, who was the man before Butler showed up. You just did the Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc thing. Why are you taking the ball out of Morant's hand?
Because Jimmy it ain't gonna be no problem because it's gonna be Morant's team, and the rest of the guys are gonna give Morant the ball.
I'd like to believe that. See, I'm just saying, the ego would be the big factor there, All
right.
I searched in my mind a team that might probably see Jimmy. Better be careful. He might end up in Canada with the Raptors.
All right, listen. Any other comments? I want to talk about the All-Star game. They got the
I got one more quick one on Jimmy. I don't look at Jimmy Butler that type of player that's greedy, because I look at him when he was winning with Miami, and he gave them young boys like Robinson a hero.
Yes.
If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have been as good as they were.
True.
He fed them boys that ball. So I don't think he's a disruptor. I think he would fit good just with Memphis just because of how young they are.
No, because they
need that veteran.
No. So you got to remember, John Morant makes a big difference. They didn't have that on Miami. On Miami, Jimmy Butler was the man.
Yeah, but I don't think he would.
And they both play the same position too, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Jimmy's smart enough to know not to disrupt Morant. Come on now. Y'all know better than that.
No, he's not.
Nowhere in the world.
I'm not judging the man, but I'm just going to say this, and if I'm wrong, Lord, forgive me. If you're going to sleep with somebody's wife, you'll take the ball out of the star's hand in a heartbeat. Come on.
And you said that, Bruce.
I think he got better sense than to go into Memphis with Morant there and said, "This is my team."
Anthony, I'm not cruel.
He have better sense than to get into it with Pat Riley too, but he didn't.
All right, listen. Let's talk about the All-Star game real fast. The East got Jalen Brunson, David Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Carl Anthony Towns.
Yep.
Anthony Towns, he should be in the starter. But anyway,
Sure, he should be starting.
Okay.
This year.
All right, Bruce. Okay.
Hey, Bruce, we on the same bandwagon. Let's just
what about the other Brown from the Celtics? I mean, he get disrespected all the time.
We talk about a center.
All right, well, all right, then the West got Steph, SGA, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and the Joker. You guys satisfied with those starters on both sides?
That's a nice lineup.
Yeah,
I like both sides.
Okay.
And remember, Jerry, they changed the format. So these are the guys that were voted by the fans and the media. They're still going to break it down because it's going to be, they've changed the format because it's going to be two separate teams. And then you're going to have those two teams play there's going to be two separate games. And then there's going to be a third game for the overall thing. And
okay.
we're going to see how I'm more anxious to see who gets named for reserves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me it's going to be two games. Then the winner is going to play each other.
The winners will play each other. Yeah, they're trying to, I guess the ratings and the popularity of the All-Star game has really gone down over the last few years, just the whole weekend. So they're trying something different. They're actually incorporating the inside the NBA guys to in regards to the All-Star game. But just on the surface, I mean, look, the fans get to see their favorite players there, and now they get something. Now you're going to see something a little bit different. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't go by like how the Pro Bowl has gone with football, where they just make it where they make it not about the sport at all.
Go back a couple of years, and you would know better than I would. They used to do the freshman sophomore game.
They still do that. They're still doing that.
Basically, what you're saying is there are going to be your voted All-Stars on the Sunday game, and then there's going to be dual games on Saturday, because that's the only way I can, unless they're doing a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still up in the air how they're doing it, but they're trying something different.
All right, listen. Let me start with Kendall. Anthony Davis believes the Lakers are just a couple of players away from competing, and he'd like for the Lakers to pick up a center. I read that today. What do you think? You think a center will help the Lakers?
I think a center would help. That Anthony Davis can roam. Can you imagine them having like a 7-footer in the middle so Anthony Davis can do the things that he does? He'll create a matchup problem with a bunch of people. I think that's what they need.
Dwight Howard again?
They should sign Dwight Howard.
I'm saying Dwight Howard again. What you think?
I don't know. I don't know. If
Dwight Howard washed up. That's what I think.
all they want him to do is block the middle. That's all he got to do.
He's been
out of the game now. 2 years.
He's been playing overseas.
Oh yeah.
Dwight Howard end up with more 3-second defensive 3-second calls than you can shake a stick at.
He's better than that. He's better than that.
Done.
Well, Larry.
Dwight Howard is done. You bring him out of retirement. That's like getting one of these old bums off the street. You don't have
that's true.
It's not because of the age. He just
That's true.
To do that now, you don't have it. It's done.
Okay, but is there a center out there that Anthony Davis believes if the Lakers get a center, they can compete? So what center is out there or anybody that
There's
can
probably
help?
somebody out there. Like you said, they need somebody that can clog up the middle a little bit, get the rebounds, play a little defensive stance.
Yeah,
like you said, let Anthony Davis run around. I think it would work.
You know who would work for them, but then they're not going to get him. If they get their hands on Harkenstein, that's the kind of guy they need.
No. They ain't gonna
get him. Listen to my reasoning before you say no.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
Yeah, you don't need somebody that's going to be a prolific scorer. You need somebody that can kind of guard the middle and let the rest of the crew do the score and let him be the garbage man. And that's why I say that.
I agree with you 100%. Only thing I'm saying that OKC ain't gonna let him go.
That's the point. I just said.
But you know what? It could be a big man on somebody's bench that really don't get in the game that could probably fill in his spot. We just don't know about him because he don't get to play.
Yeah, right. I sure wish they come take film from the Knicks.
What you think, Anthony?
Actually, the person who probably would fit that perfectly is Mitchell Robinson, but he's always hurt. That's the problem. And to be honest with you, right now, even though it's a guard-oriented league, ain't nobody going to give up a quality center. Not unless they're not going to necessarily ask for a first-round pick, but they're going to want something for him if they get given up.
Dwight Howard is the perfect man for them. They ain't got to give up nothing, and he ain't washed up. For what Big D said that they need, Howard could cover all them bases. He just got them playing overseas and plays good.
But now, Bruce, you got to turn around and figure out what kind of salary is this guy going to get.
He ain't gonna cost. He gonna be cheap.
Well, you say he's gonna be cheap, but then
for the same reason y'all said that he washed up and all that.
His agent is going to try to get top dollar.
He's going to be cheap.
No.
He's going to be cheap.
Try to get top
no doubt about that. He's going to be cheap.
He be just happy trying to get back in the league.
Yeah, he's going to be cheap.
He might play for free.
That's a shame.
You guys on the roll right now.
Oh my
but it's
you
true.
guys on the roll. Let me just say
get away from
league minimum. He's gonna get the league minimum at the very least.
Exactly.
800,000, I think.
That's right.
He would be perfect. He would be perfect for the Lakers.
I don't think he's coming out.
Say something.
Yeah. What y'all think about this MVP, man? This Joker don't want to give it up. The Alexander, man. He don't want to give it up. You see what he did last night?
I saw you see that shot
the Joker did last night.
No,
I didn't see it.
He had 35 points, 20 rebounds, some like 17 assists. He got the ball with 2 seconds left
and threw
at the end of the court and that slung it all net.
Threw a Pat Mahomes back through the net. Pat Mahomes like Pat right through the net.
I gotta go back and watch the highlights on that one.
Oh, man, go to YouTube. Look it up on YouTube, Jerry. You get to see it.
I will.
He's gonna get this MVP again, man.
Well,
he's a bad man, boy.
Doing all that,
that's the way to fight for it. That's for sure.
Okay, this is my final one. My final question. I'm gonna ask Kendall this, but let me just say this is Sports Talk on the Friday night edition. I'm Dr. Jerry Green along with Big Don from Big Don Production, the legend Bruce Austin, our sports legend Anthony McLean. Every Moment Move with Kendall Tyson, my brother-in-law Larry Pearson, all the way in Maryland, and also one of the greatest bishops in the world, Bishop Ernest Richard, also in Maryland as well. We're having fun as always. Kendall, it's boxing. I read this today too. George Foreman said that one fighter that he glad he never fought was Ernie Shavers. He said Ernie Shavers was the hardest puncher in boxing history. In history, what would have happened if Shavers and Foreman would have fought, or Shavers and Tyson, or Shavers and Joe Frazier would have fought, Kendall?
Wow.
Well, I think, okay, look, Ernie Shavers had a reputation of having the hardest hands. As a matter of fact, he knocked Larry Holmes down twice, and Holmes got him. Muhammad Ali said he had the hardest punch. I think that the reason why George Foreman said that Ernie Shavers was not good for him because he was tailor-made for a George Foreman, who was a straight-head boxer. Mike Tyson, when he was younger, he had a lot of head motion. I think Muhammad Ali can handle him. Styles make fights. I just think that Ernie Shavers versus George Foreman would be one of those, whoever got the good shot's going to win the game. So I think that Ernie Shavers had a good shot at beating Foreman because he went ahead, he stayed low, and he threw just hard punches, and Ernie Shavers threw the hardest punches.
What you think, Larry?
I think Ernie Shavers was one of the hardest punches there was, but I think he discredited himself because I think he could have took him.
Could take George?
I think George could have took him.
Yeah, I think George
was a hard-hitting man too, you know.
Yeah.
I think George would have took him. What you think, Anthony?
It's a short fight. I think we can all say that. It's going to be a long fight. I think Foreman probably is a little bit better of a overall boxer than Ernie. I think Ernie still has like the highest knockout percentage of all weight classes, if I remember correctly, with his wins. But they were sort of, that would have put it this way. If there was ever a thing of a real life Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and I'm dating myself when I say that, that's what that fight would have been. Short, but it would have been, would have been really exciting to watch.
Remember he fought Ron Lyles and they knocked each other down twice.
Oh man,
depended on that door blow.
Each other like
absolutely.
Door blow to try to catch you, man.
So
absolutely.
Was George right? I mean, what you think of George?
I think George could have took him just because of how many door blows. See, Ernest used to load up, man, and try to knock you out with one punch.
Yeah.
And I think George, like somebody else, when he was a better boxer, I think he could have tagged him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When he loaded up,
George wasn't box either, though. George was more coming in like Ali called him the mummy. I mean.
But Schaefer was more of a he was a door blow thrower.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Bishop.
I kind of have to agree with George, but there's one other person I probably would have put in there. I can't say he was the hardest puncher, but if you looked at his body of work, Ken Norton would have been a pretty good
punch. He could take no punch, though, Bishop.
No, I'm just saying, back in the day,
he knocked him on the first round. He knocked him out in the first round.
I never saw that fight, so I'm gonna take
that. You need to go look at some of that.
Ernie Shavers knocked him out in the first round.
All right.
He knocked him out in the first round.
Very short, he had a glass jaw. That's so okay.
Yeah. So Ernie Shavers knocked him out in the first round. So
like I said, he had a glass jaw.
Just
and I wasn't aware of that.
Don't put him up there.
Huh?
Just because Norton beat Ali, that's what you look
Well,
at.
I'm not putting him up there because he beat Ali. The fact that he broke his jaw made me think that, that wasn't by accident.
Okay.
Ironically, probably one of the best fights of all time was when Norton and Holmes fought. That was if you've ever had a chance to see that was a war.
That was a good fight. Yeah, that was a good fight.
Was a tremendous fight.
So Don, let me ask you a question then. Okay, forget about George. What about Joe Frazier and Ernie Shavers? Both of them small, left hook, the right hand. Who you pick on that one?
I pick Ernie over Frazier.
Wow.
Yeah, I pick.
Them two never fought.
No, they never fought.
No, never did.
No, I want to fight Ernie Shavers, Bruce. That's what George's saying.
Ernie Shavers was a knockout artist.
Nobody wanted to fight him. There was avoiding the guy. Ali gave him a title fight, but everybody he fought, man, like I said, he destroyed Ken Norton. Joe Frazier never wanted to fight him. George even said himself that one guy he ducked. He didn't want to fight him. Ali gave him a title fight and almost got knocked out himself.
Okay? He had to he thanked Ali for giving him a shot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then he knocked Larry Holmes down like Kendall said. I mean, knocked him, bam. And I'm surprised even Holmes got up. Kendall, who you think, Joe Frazier or Ernie Shavers?
Shavers.
Over Joe Frazier too?
Right. I think Shavers. But I would ask me. I think Muhammad Ali would get rid of him because Muhammad Ali fights a long game. I think Shavers is dangerous for George Foreman. I think George Foreman was a slugger till the second half. He became a boxer, an older George. But younger George Foreman was knocking everybody out, and he would just go forward. So you got a guy named Shavers, and so did Joe Frazier. He came forward. So I think Shavers gets rid of Joe Frazier. I think it's a toss-up with George Foreman, but that's a slugger's punch. Whoever gets the first punch in is the winner of that fight.
What you think, Anthony? Frazier or Shavers? You shaking your head?
I like Smoking Joe. I like Smoking Joe in that fight.
Okay.
I would. Only maybe probably like a TKO, and again, it ain't gonna go all 15. I think we can definitely do that.
Hook, and you had the right hand. I mean, the left hook.
Put it this way. Next to Joe Lewis's knockout punch and Ali's fast hands and everything like that. Joe Frazier's left hook is what to boxing what Kareem's sky hook was to basketball. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I agree on that one. Go ahead, Bishop.
Well, no, I'm agreeing with Anthony on that, and I'm a Frazier fan, and I would probably go Joe Frazier. The question is, can he withstand Shavers in the first 3 rounds? It's after the 3rd round. He gets through the first 3 rounds, and you got to put it in Frazier's hands because Shaver I don't think he's a long distance guy, but one thing is for sure, once he slows down, he's a sitting duck.
Because you got to remember something too. Joe couldn't take George. George knocked him down to 6 times in 2 rounds.
Yeah, but he had him bouncing on his knees.
But hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's go back. When did George do that? Second round, third round? I think it was
the first and second round.
Third, that ended in the third, if I remember. And to be fair, Frazier was older. He had already fought Ali twice.
Right.
So
that's true. That's true.
Came in with the business as usual mentality, and George Foreman says, "This is my stamp of approval." He said, "Oh, shoot."
Right, what you think, man? Frazier or Ernie Shavers?
I got to go with Shavers because Shavers hit too hard and Frazier coming straight at you with their head bobbing. I think Shavers would have took him out.
Who did I miss? I get you done.
Yeah, you got me. I went with Shavers too, real quick. I was number 1.
Okay,
but I have to let you guys know my battery about to die. So if I just shut down, that's what happened.
Okay, well, Kendall, close out in prayer, bro, tonight.
Come on, Kendall.
Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for the gentleman of Sports Talk. Father, we thank you for WJRG as we come together on Tuesdays and Friday nights to enjoy ourselves and to glorify you, God, and let you know that sports and gospel can mix. I thank you for my brothers as they go forward this Friday evening. I thank you for the 2 that are not here. And I just thank you, Father, just for the opportunity to just be a blessing to those who listen to WJRG and KMI Radio. So, gentlemen, you have a wonderful Friday evening. May God be with you. God bless you.
All right, you guys have a nice weekend and see everybody Tuesday night, all right?
And I got to get that backdrop with KC for next one.
Go Commanders. Go Commanders.
All right, you guys.
I got to be in
Take care, guys.
Stadium.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right.